Hello everyone. Last time we learned how we can use PowerPoint to do a recording, but there were some drawbacks. One major drawback is you can't go back in slide. In addition, there were not much possible configurations that can do inside the PowerPoint. For example, you can't add multiple web cameras, and copying and rotating things like that is also not possible. Some PowerPoint versions, especially the old ones, do not support picture-in-picture mode. So given all that things, it might be better to use a different software for this kind of streaming or recording. The OBS or the Open Broadcast software is one of free and open source software that can be used for this. You can download it from the link given below. So this is the official website. Have Windows, Linux and the Mac versions. You can download it and install it. So it can do a lot of things. It can do video recording and live streaming. It can use multiple cameras and you can configure each of these cameras separately. It can do screen capturing and a lot of things are possible. So let's do a small demonstration and see how we can do such a thing. So here you have the OBS window. The place of these windows, these settings might be different because you can easily drag and drop them. So I'm currently using this particular settings. Here you have something called scenes. Scenes is a collection of possible configurations in cameras or videos or things like that. So by default you have a single scene. So I would like to rename it as PowerPoint. PowerPoint scene. So in this one I will be basically try to configure a window to show my PowerPoint content and also my web camera to include it as a picture-in-picture. So now scene is there. Then you have something called a source. So this is the place where you can add different audio capturing devices, video capturing devices and things like that. So I can go and click. Now I can either do a window capture, so it will capture on only the window of a given software, or I can do a complete display capture. Now I'm going to use a display capture because my PowerPoint is now in full screen mode, so it's easy to use the display capture. And let me say PowerPoint screen. You can rename it to whatever you like. Now currently I have two monitors. So one monitor is I am currently recording this particular software, and the other one is another OBS instance that is running. So if you have only a single monitor, you won't have much issue. You can just select whatever the monitor you have. So this is the monitor that is currently displaying my PowerPoint presentation. So I selected it, press OK, and you can see now in the window my preview is here. So I can adjust it to whatever the things I like, the size. Now this PowerPoint is running in the window mode. That's why you are seeing this taskbar. If you want, you can crop these things and scale it up. To crop a window, press the Alt button and then click and move this red square. So now I'm cutting it, I'm cropping it. Okay, right. And then you can adjust it to fit whatever the scale you have. Okay, now I have my PowerPoint in the scene. I also like to add an audio device and my web camera. So again, I'm going to say add. Then I'm going to say add. Let's start with the web camera video capture device. So I can name something like web camera 1. Again, I have two cameras. One is recording this current video and the other one is the one I'm going to demonstrate. So I get an option to select which camera I have to use. So this is the integrated webcam, but I will be using the attached separate webcam. So select the webcam. Now you can see the second preview coming up. You can change the settings like the resolution, the frames per second, and whether you want to show it in black and white or things like that. You can check with these settings. And now I'm going to press OK. Okay, this is me. But here I think it's not very properly aligned, so I'm going to crop some of these parts. Sorry, select this one, press the Alt button, and now I'm going to resize it and put it like this, or maybe somewhere here. Okay, let's set it here. So the web camera is also there, but remember, if you add only the video capturing device, the audio will not be there. To add audio, you have to add another device. Plus audio input capture. Okay. We'll use the same audio capturing device. Now you can see there's an audio capturing device also. One advantage of OBS, it supports many of the filters. So if you are in a little bit of noisy environment, you can go to audio, right click and select filters and click on this one, and then you will have a list of filters available. I will use the noise filter. Sorry, I will use the noise suppression filter. Noise suppression. So minus 30 decibel of suppression. Okay. Okay, now I have add the filter also. So if I want to record this particular video, you can press this start recording button and it will start recording. If you want to change the settings, such as where you want to record this particular file, where you want to save this file, you can go here and change settings like where you want to save this file, things like that. So to start recording, you simply press this particular start button, and once you have done recording, you simply press stop recording button, and a video will be created at the place according to your settings. On the real time, you can adjust things like the volume and things like that, and you can even move things like that. But maybe you want to add another thing where you don't have the webcam. So when you are doing the presentation, sometimes you have your picture-in-picture view, and other times in places like this where it becomes an obstacle, you can remove the second scene. So either you can create a second scene from the scratch, or I'm simply going to duplicate it. Let me say PowerPoint without picture-in-picture, and so now I have created the second scene, and the second scene is a duplicate, so I'm going to remove picture-in-picture. So now I have two scenes. One is this particular composition. I have the PowerPoint and my picture-in-picture. Second one is almost the same, but it has only the PowerPoint presentation. So when you are doing your presentation, if you have a slide where you don't have a different place, you don't have any obstacle here, you might shift into the picture-in-picture mode like this, and when it comes to a different place, you can shift it to a different mode like this. So you can do it in the real time while doing the recording. Now I told you you can have multiple webcams attached. So one method I'm going to use is I used to teach a little bit of mathematics. Now the problem is in mathematics you can't use PowerPoint. It's a bit hard to teach equations and things like that using a PowerPoint. So the whiteboard or something like is the best. So what I usually do is I have one webcam pointing towards me. So when I'm describing the PowerPoint, people can see me. And there's another mode where I have the second webcam attached to a setting like this. So this is actually a table lamp, and I have the webcam attached to this table lamp. So the second webcam is pointing towards the table. So in the table I have a A4 sheet. So what are the equations I want to do, what are the calculations I want to do, I can do it in that paper and you get a view like that. So that's again possible. So let me show you an example of how that is conducted. Now let's try to do an example. Here you can see there's a circuit. It has a single voltage source and there are several resistors. So we are going to translate this circuit into the Thevenin's equivalent circuit. So we need to find the VTH and the RTH. We already know the steps required to it. Earlier we had covered it. So now let's see how we can apply these steps and calculate the Thevenin's voltage and the Thevenin's resistance. So you can see I had already drawn the circuit into a paper. There's a 15 volt voltage source. There's 2K resistor, 1K, 1K and 1K resistor. This is an ideal voltage source, so there's no internal resistance. So the first step is to disconnect the load terminal. So you can see there are no load resistance between A and B. So there's nothing to done in the first step. So we can directly move to the second step, which is to find the voltage between this A and B. Now you can see this 1K resistor and this 1K resistor are in series. So instead of this, I can replace them by a single 2K resistor. And this 2K resistor and this 2K resistor will be in series. So I can redraw this circuit something similar to this. There's the 15 volt supply. And this 2 kilo ohm resistor I had rotated and drawn in here. So this is the this 2K kilo ohm is the this 2K kilo ohm, this 2 kilo ohm resistor. And instead of this 1 kilo ohm resistors, I had drawn the net resistance of 2K resistor here.